Does everybody really want truth?
No, nobody wants truth. Nobody does. Everybody if everybody wanted,
we want a palatable version.
I don't even think they want that. I think people want to be lied to. Honestly.
Think so?
What's going on, everyone? Welcome to Deep MCs, the podcast that seeks to push meaningful conversation to a whole new level. Whether it's for your entertainment or your personal growth, we appreciate you being here today. And now, on to the show. What's going on, man?
Hey, man.
Here we are, back again.
Yes, sir.
Get the music going here. I mean, I like the music, but there's
Clearly
anybody out
like
there.
The music,
I do like the music, but there's anybody out there that has additional music. I would love to hear it, as long as you're not going to charge me for it, because I don't have any money. But I would love to feature it on the show. Switch it up. I mean, I like this because I feel like we want to motivate people, and it's a motivational tune. But at the same time, I'm okay with having a little something else, every now and then.
Every now and then. We can feature somebody.
Exactly. So here we are, back again for a new episode. What are we getting into, my man?
Man, we're going to talk about truth today. Just digging into it. Do we really tell the truth anymore? Or do we mask it based on, feelings or whatever it is? Do we mask it or do we tell the truth, honestly?
Right. We mask it. Everybody have a good night. Right. Done.
See you next time. Goodbye.
Done. No, I mean, that is it's a topic, it's something that I've thought about for a while now. And it's interesting because when you think about truth, I think that a lot of people look at truth in a very black and white format, with not a lot of gray, right? And some people say, well, why would there be gray in the truth, And I don't know, that's a hard thing to kind of really figure out, right? And when we speak about truth, everybody's like, well, you always tell the truth. You always tell the truth no matter what. The truth hurts, but it has to be told, right? But then sometimes the question is, does it have to be? Does the truth have to be told? Or should we always be telling the truth? Because, right, like if the truth hurts and you're always telling the truth, you're always, I hate using this word, but you're always triggering people.
Yeah.
Right. For one reason or another, or whatever. Or if you're with your spouse, boyfriend, girlfriend, whoever it is, you're sitting there and they're sucking their teeth and you really want to punch them in the face. And that's the truth. Do you really need to say that? You know what I'm saying? Like, do you need to, if you don't shut the fuck up right now, I'm gonna hit you square in your face. Like, that's how
because
I feel.
they're sucking their teeth,
right? And that's the truth, right? But I'm just saying, but those are those things, right?
Yeah.
But if you don't say that, and they know you don't say that, well, now you're a liar. You know what I'm saying? Because you didn't tell the truth.
No.
You didn't tell the truth.
If they ask you, hey, does my teeth sucking bother you? Now, you could be a liar. But
right,
if their teeth sucking is, you're not, and you don't say anything, that's not necessarily being untruthful. That's just you being aggravated by what they're doing, and not saying anything, not addressing it.
It depends who you ask, man. Some people would say
that's not truth, man.
That you are being a liar because if you're not being truthful with yourself and saying how you feel. Right? I don't know.
But you know what? I don't know that if we only base truth on our feelings, then I think we've created a very slippery slope, right? Because our truth is going to be based on our life. It's going to be based on our experience. So I believe there's a difference between our truth and the truth.
Right.
Because anytime you have a conversation with somebody, the truth of how they respond is going to be based off of something that they've internalized, right? The truth of the matter is I'm this way because I grew up this way and I look at life this way, and so it creates a truth for me.
Right.
That the truth may be that nobody cares for me. That may be my truth, but that may not be the truth, but that may be the truth that I've taken on and that I internalize. And so I believe that now.
Your perception is your reality.
There we go with another saying.
Right, exactly. You gotta have all.
We gotta have all the
sayings.
sayings, right?
The goal is to have them all through that. But whenever this show ends, we have done every saying possible, right? No, but I agree with that, you know. But truth, though, it's so weird, because I don't think, if you really sit down and think, what does truth encompass? It does encompass a lot of things, and it does, like you said, your truth may not, but you can't even say your truth is not the truth. Or, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's hard to say that, because if you truly believe it, right? I mean, for all we know, for lack of, I mean, it's not exactly, but for lack of a better word, the sky is blue, is what they say, right? And we assume that is the truth,
right?
But we assume that because that's what we've been, blue is what we've been told that's what
that's what that color is, yeah.
Maybe it's not.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So we assume that the truth and attach it to a lot of things a lot of times too. So it is hard. Like, there are some things that are easily, you know, identified, right? Like, if you pimp slap somebody, did you just get slapped in the face? Yes, that's the truth. Okay. Right.
Yeah.
That's easy.
Yeah,
right. But there's things that you can't necessarily always identify as being truthful. I don't know. It is weird, and like you said, it is a slippery slope, because just because if you feel something is your truth, I mean, maybe it is, maybe it's not, maybe you were lied to, but it doesn't take away from the fact that was your truth. You know, and if you give that to somebody, you know, if it's false information, oh God, which we've heard that saying, too much of false information. But you know, but if you give that to somebody, they may know that's not truthful, and you become a liar, but that was your truth and you believed it. You know, like, it's hard. Truth has a lot of.
I believe it has. It's not an open and shut case when it comes to truth, right? So when we're talking about a case, or we're talking about, you know what I'm saying, even what people believe to be, there's evidence that helps us come to a true understanding, right? When you go to the court, they're going to submit evidence to create a truth that then creates a verdict, right?
But even then, that's not always true.
Even then, it's not always. Right? And so truth is so open-ended and so individualized that I think you just have to be open to hearing what that person's truth is, and then decide if that's truth for you. Right? And we unpacking this right now, right? Like, my eyes are squinting, because that's what you do when you're thinking, right?
I do that all the time. I'm always in this weird frame of thought. You know?
That's how you get the thought out. Is you kind of think about it, right? You wince.
You have to. Because it hurts. It hurts. Right?
You're trying to figure it out. And so when we talk about truth, man, I think we have to. It's really, it's really kind of situational. It's based on the situation, and maybe you're taking evidence. Let's take it as a court. We've taken evidence that we've pulled from various verdicts in our own life, and then we take that evidence and we create this idea, and that idea becomes truth for us, you know. And so it could be that, you know, all black men cheat. That could be a verdict for some woman out there, you know, who believes that all men cheat, because that has been her reality.
Right.
And then now that becomes her truth.
Right.
Is it the truth? Don't say nothing stupid.
Maybe. I mean, I was looking online for another podcast, and they were proposing the question on if watching porn is cheating. So, I mean, some people feel that it is.
Right.
So, I mean, cheating is
again
relative.
It's relative.
Right. You know, depending on the situation or wherever you're in. But I mean, it is. It is interesting, right? Because her truth is still her truth, and that could be the truth for her. Maybe she's been with, or he's been with, or whoever, 20 people, 30 people, 10 people, 5 people, and they all cheated.
20 to 30, bro.
Hey, some people are putting it down when they get out.
Gee.
I mean, I don't want to count my numbers. I don't even know right now. But I mean, at the end of the day, like you don't. If that's all that they've come across, right? Then that is their truth, and they haven't had anything to change that truth.
Yeah.
They haven't come across anything to change that truth.
So does trust, in order for you to believe a different truth, you have to trust that there has to be in that situation, the one we just talked about, right? Say there is a good guy that comes along, right? She's going to have to trust that he's not going to be like the rest of them in order to create a different truth. Because sometimes we build our perception, we build our lives on this one truth.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And we approach life based on that truth that I just created. You know, and so I approach relationships this way because I already know I'm going to get cheated on. Does that truth create the situation?
Maybe. I'm terrible at relationships, so it's hard to say. Possibly. I mean, right? They say you should never make the current person pay for the past person's mistakes, right? Because it does alter, but people still do it, you know?
Of course.
You know, I don't know.
But are you attracting the same person at that point? Like, are you honest enough with yourself to say, you know, the truth is that I keep going after this type of person, or I keep, you know, getting in a relationship with this type of person. So some of this I have to own.
Well, I and that's the thing, is the ownership piece, right? Like, I think most people always tend to blame the other before they look at themselves, right? Mm-hmm. You know, it's always, I always get the wrong guy, or I always get the wrong girl, or I always attract hoes, or I always attract cheaters, or this dude don't do it, this girl don't do whatever, right?
Right.
And at that point, you know, it's that trial and error, man. Like if you're running into it that many times, mm-hmm. like at some point you have to look at yourself.
So we have to look internally, right?
You have to look at yourself and say, hey, what is it that I can do to be better, or change that? I don't know.
What's the responsibility that we go into it, you know, with identifying, is my truth real, or is it just based on, you know, what evidence is my truth based on, you know, and is it based on an abusive relationship?
Right.
You know, is it based on what somebody told me?
Right.
You know, because sometimes we pass down stuff.
Oh yeah, and you can pass down a whole lot of lies.
A whole lot of lies that are now truth, right?
Right.
I remember this story, and I hope it fits. I think I can make it fit.
Hey, we're here to just have a conversation. Doesn't matter if it's not. It's our show. We can do whatever we want.
You're right. You're exactly right. That's the truth.
That's the truth.
This lady, you know, it was a generational thing, right? She always cut off both ends of a ham. Like when it was time to cook a ham, she cut off both ends of it.
Okay.
And she would cut off both ends of it because that's what her mom did. And she would cut it off, and then she would put it in her pot. Boom, 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 right? And somebody asked her, why do you do that? And she was like, that's the way that it has to be done. You know, that's the way my mom did it, so that's the way I do it, right? That's the way she showed me. Well, she ended up having a conversation with mom one day. She was like, Mom, why do you cut why do we do that? Because, you know, and her mom said, you know, well, sweetheart, I didn't have a pot big enough for the ham. We created a truth out of this ham cooking, and I know it's comical, right? But here it is, this generational thing that we've passed down,
right?
And we have to do because this is the way they did it.
It was done.
This is the way that it was done. This is the way it has to be done. We trimming off ham that could be good.
Good, and you about to fight somebody to tell you that's not how you do it.
That's not how you do it.
Yeah.
That's not how my mama did it, and we're not changing it. This is the only way to cook this ham, and you trimming off both ends, and you have a pot that fits the full ham.
All kind of empty space, right?
You got air around your ham. But his mom had to do better what she had, right?
But that is hilarious. But yeah, and that's crazy because at the end of the day, that was her truth. She would die for that truth.
I'm not gonna do it just because my mama told me this. Come on, man.
And had no understanding as to why.
No understanding as to why.
And
because we didn't really get to the root of it.
That is why you need to have conversations, people.
Let's just talk, man. Please. Let's talk and let's come up with some truth that both of us can agree on. Right?
Exactly. Because you can't go your whole life.
You wasting money on ham.
Ham's expensive as hell.
Dude.
I'm telling, that's the truth.
As expensive as it is, you can buy a ham and get a free turkey.
Exactly.
That's how they do it.
That is how expensive it is, and we just cutting off halves just because that's how you're supposed to do it.
That's how you're supposed to do it. And now you got this piece of ham you don't know how to cook, and it's cooking at a different place.
Now, was there growth from that? Do the hams now have both sides?
I would hope so. I would hope so, because at this point you've learned that this wasn't the reason why, and now hopefully you're teaching whomever's after you that no, this. Let me give you the recipe, and I'm gonna let you do it.
Do whatever you want to do.
Let you do whatever you want to do with the recipe, but don't follow me because blindly and create a truth out of it. You know?
Yeah, and it's crazy how that happens, man. And it's funny, like that's comical and it's funny, But
we live life like that, dude.
We do, and so many people take those truths, and they apply it to their life because of what they've seen, or that's what they're around, that's what they grew up with, and it's not necessarily the truth. So you have to dive down and figure out what really is. And I'm curious now that you say that. I would almost challenge everybody to think of something that they always saw and dig in and try to find what was the real reason.
What was the real reason
behind it? Right? If you can go ask your mom or your grandpa or whatever, still whoever it is, go ask them what was the real reason, just to see if your viewpoint on it is what it is. That's crazy.
There's some things, man. My great grandfather had a tool shed on the land, and I remember everything that he had that was necessary for him to do the job he needed to do was in the shed. And whether he was going to work on the hog pen, repairing that, or if he was working on the truck or the tractor, or if he was just, whatever it was, he had a tool for it.
Right.
And sometimes if we don't have the tool, we make do. Right? We might not have the best tool, but this one will work. Like I need a vice grip, but I'll use this plier.
Right.
Or I'll try to make these needle nose pliers work when I actually need a wrench.
Right.
And I've used that needle nose, and somebody saw me use the needle nose. And now I gotta use the needle nose on that because that's what I saw.
That's the truth.
That's the truth.
That's the truth.
But it's actually I didn't have the right tool.
You was just broke.
I was just broke and couldn't go get that tool, so I'm gonna make do. And I believe in life we've made do with a lot of things that we now create truths out of. Even in our thought processes, we make do with I'm not really that good, or my thoughts aren't that good, or I'm not that smart. And you create a truth out of that. And so now you go get this other tool that's really not the best one for you.
Right.
You even pull people in as tools, which are crazier than you, but now you use them as evidence for truth, and now they give you this craziness that doesn't even add up.
Doesn't add up at all.
Add up at all.
So you create it's like a cult.
Yeah.
You create your own cult of truth. Not that cults don't have some truth in there. You know what? That's what also I hate. Speaking of truth, this is kind of truth, but not really. I hate having to make damn corrections now. That never used to be a part of conversation.
Okay.
And this is a truthful statement that I'm giving right now, and I'm pissed off about it. It pisses me off. Like, right, when you have your general conversation, and I don't know, we get to be talking about whatever. We could talk about grocery shopping, right? And then I say, oh yeah, and then when your girl goes out grocery shopping, and then you're gonna get a whole bunch of hate mail and cancel culture. Well, dude, guys can grocery shop too. Why does it have to be a girl? Why does it have to be right? And so now
this idea of equality across the board,
for people to be able to just to have regular conversations, and you have to be, oh well, when a girl goes grocery shopping, but guys can go grocery shopping too, and transgenders also grocery shop, and gay people grocery shop, lesbians grocery shop, queers grocery shop, bis grocery shop, like I didn't enlist everybody before I get to my point,
to be able to make the
right.
point.
I'm sorry that I'm sorry I used the wrong pronoun for whatever. Like, does that mean that I hate gays? No. I hang out with lots of them. Doesn't mean I hate lesbians. No. One of my best friends here is a lesbian. Doesn't mean I hate, you know what I'm saying? No, I have nothing against none of them, but damn it, the first thing that popped up in my head was what it was, and I'm just trying to have a conversation. Why do you have to apologize for being truthful for who you are, right? And then on the backside of that is because you have all of these people that will attack you, right? So they will be upset if you try to make them who they're not.
Okay.
Right? If someone is gay, let them be gay. Who gives a shit? I don't care. That's not my life. If they're happy, that's all that matters, right? But if someone tries to change that, there's a problem. Why are you trying to change this person? This is who they are. They're happy doing this. Why do you want to change them? And I agree. I agree with that. Let whoever, if you want to be a damn tree, you can put up to your waist in soil and stand outside all day. I don't care what you do.
Okay.
Honestly, it doesn't affect me. It's too hot outside for me. But if that's what you want to do, fine. You're a tree. I'm not going to change that. And people will get mad. Oh, you're trying to change those people, right? But on the backside of it, if I slip up, if I have a Uncle Ben, and now it's Aunt Betty, and I call you Ben because I've known you as Ben for 40 years, and you get mad about it, like, damn. All right, bro. I mean, sorry, ma'am. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But like, give people time to adjust, first of all. But then the thing about it is, truthfully, if that's how I feel, like, pronoun wise, that's not the best case scenario, whatever, because you should address people however they want to be addressed, like, that's whatever. But when you start attacking me for the things that I do, you're doing the same things that you don't want done to yourself. So now you're trying to change me.
You're trying to force me into
whatever you want it to be. You know, if you,
and we lose our own individuality in all of that.
Exactly. And then people jump on that. People get on the bandwagon. People, you get support from people because it's profitable, not because they believe in your cause, but it's profitable to say, I stand with this, you know, when really I support you more than those people do. Right. But
it looks good for the culture, but it's not necessarily that there's real support on the
for
back end.
Whatever it is, you know. And so when do we get to the point where you can't even be truthful with how you feel? Like, everything has to be said with,
it has to be metered to a certain extent.
Right? And why the fuck should I have to meter anything? Like, even now, I just use fuck. Right, this episode's probably, if we were getting monetized, we're getting demonetized right now, but we're not getting monetized. Either way, the point is like, if that's how I feel, what word, like that word, who is it really hurting?
Because at the end of the day, man, you and I, what I like about this is that our truths come out in different ways,
right? And
that's okay,
right?
And that's gonna be fine. Right? When we sit down here and we have a conversation, you know, it's okay. Here's that eye thing, right? Where you get that thought.
This is
together,
where the thoughts coming.
You know, me growing up, kind of in ministry, right? There's a little eyebrow raise with cursing and, you know, swearing and those kind of things.
Right.
And I can sit here right now and say that I've gone through kind of a transformation of thought concerning people being who they are. right? Because at the end of the day, we all want to be authentic. We all want to be able to be who we are, and you not have to change of you, or me not have to change of me, right? In this process, right? And that the good of whatever's going on, that hopefully there'll be some truth in it that both of us can rest on.
Right.
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 And you feel comfortable enough with me to not feel like you're gonna get judged because you said this, that, or the third. Same thing with me, right? That I can put it out here on the table. We can have a conversation about it, and maybe at the end of the day, we leave with a different truth than what we had before, right? And be able to tell each other the truth. Do I think it's bad, or do I think this is detrimental? If there's something like that I believe in your life, okay, I'll share that with you.
Right.
But everything else, bro, dude, what you gonna do?
Exactly. And that's what bothers me, is that people can't get that frame of mind, and it does get to a point where you are hindering people's truths, or you are changing who that person is, or whatever. And I think there's a difference between calling people on their bullshit, right, and allowing people to speak freely and just be truthful to who they are, or just be able to say what they want, what they want, how they want, where they want, whatever. Be truthful. And it sucks when you are not able to be comfortable enough to be open and honest. And that's at all avenues of life, where you are, whether it is, and it affects. And I think that the truthfulness, and for many different reasons, they don't want to be truthful because they don't want to hurt somebody. They don't want to be truthful because they don't want to be judged. They don't want to be truthful because, and that's what it is, right? If you're in a relationship where you love somebody, sometimes people will hold back a little bit because they don't want to hurt the other person, right? You're not being fully truthful because you don't want to hurt the other person. If someone is gay or a lesbian or trans, whatever, and here I'm saying whatever, not because it's not important, and here I'm correcting myself again, right? Because that becomes part of nature. But if you're whatever you want to be, and you're afraid of being judged, or you're afraid to come out, they're afraid they can't be truthful. That's not fair, right? If somebody's racist and they don't like me because I'm black, they don't say anything necessarily to my face, or they might harbor those feelings or thoughts because they don't want to be judged, or they don't want to lose their job, or they don't want to, whatever. They're not being truthful to who they are at that time. That one even more so bothers me, which people are like, why would that bother you? But it does bother me. And like I've told you in a previous episode, I would love to be able to sit down and talk to someone that thinks like that, right? But because that person can't share his or her truth, we can never work through that.
Right. We find ourselves being dishonest, about a lot of things, right? And we create a narrative then that's not truly who we are, right? Because we have to create these situations and these thought processes that help us just to get through the day, right? Help me be accepted so that I can get through the day, right? And I may not tell the truth about, really what my thought process is about you right now. Like, I'm looking at you in your face, I'm smiling, but I hate you right now. Right? You know what I'm saying? And
I want to put you up in a tree right now. you know?
And we do that. We do that a lot.
But I don't understand why we can't. And will we ever be able to?
Does everybody really want truth?
No, nobody wants truth. Nobody does. Everybody if everybody wanted,
we want a palatable version.
I don't even think they want that. I think people want to be lied to. Honestly.
Think so? Explain that for me.
Well, I mean, from a greater source, and we end up going through a lot of same subjects again and stuff like that. But when you look at, let's look at social media, right? One of the biggest lies out there. These people are lying every day,
right?
And it's being consumed in mass quantities,
right?
Even when this person that's claiming to be natural is on every steroid on the planet. It's obvious,
it's
right?
clear.
He went from this to this in 6 months. Okay.
Right.
But you love that lie. Or, oh, this is me with no makeup on. You touch that picture up, you put the filter, you whatever. You know you have acne. This is a lie. Oh, this is me with this is my real body. Look at my stretch marks. Okay, well, you remove the stretch marks on your stomach and left the ones on your thigh. Right? People want to be lied to. They don't want the full truth. They want to be something that they can aspire to or drive to or just be consumed in because it takes them away from their shitty life that they're living in. You know, it's everywhere. It's everywhere. And so I do feel that it is difficult when we create an environment and we create a world where we lie for a living. And that is what we give, right?
Lie for a living.
We lie for a living.
That is weighted, dude.
It is, but you think about it. I mean, think of all the stuff, and I'm not saying that this is, you know, there's always the 1% outliers or the 10% outliers, but you think of when someone goes to apply for a job, is that resume 100%? Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, I saw a meme, man, that had a dude standing in front of it had a mainframe open, right? And there's wires everywhere, and it's almost like it was applying for something at NASA, right? Where you have to move all the different things. And he's standing there with his hands in his pocket, like, lied on your resume, right? And that was the meme. And I was like, wow, I got it. Because, we pretty that thing up, right?
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, and then you're supposed to know all of these things and have all these certifications, and you walking in lied.
Yeah. Even in the interview process, you're telling them what you want, what they want to hear.
Got it.
But that's what we do.
You lie for a living.
We lie for a living. You
Come
know what
on,
I'm saying?
Man.
But
that was gonna stick with me for a little while.
Hey, you got to see people, but people need to think about that. Think about your daily interactions and everything that you do. That's what we do. When you're in the store, even the quote unquote advertising, right? Oh, this is no GMO, like whatever. They're loopholes so that they can get certain certifications. Free range, right?
Yeah, right.
Like because you allowed them a square foot outside.
Yeah,
as free, but they're not full truths, right?
Yeah.
And we come, it's still true. No, you're lying. We're all lying to a certain extent. Doesn't mean that we're bad people or everybody's a bad person, but we are brought up and living in a society that is lies. It's not completely truthful.
We thrive on not being fully honest.
Exactly.
And we saw that, man. We saw that all of 2020, right? Because wherever you were, you know what I'm saying? It didn't matter what kind of information you fed into. There was a displaced amount of truth and lies mixed in as truth. Right. And it didn't matter whether it was political, environmental, health-wise, whatever it was. There was surely a clear divide, which means there's something in it that's wrong on both ends, right? There's no clear middle, which means this right and left are both wrong, and somebody's lying, right? But we believed it in droves because it was comfortable for us to believe this over this. Because that appealed more to my life and my stability and my own personal, way of how I want to approach life. And that's crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy. It's crazy that we do that, and it's crazy that we buy into that. And it's interesting because it's very rare that you have, like right now, we can say that this is an honest conversation because we're here and we're saying whatever we want for the most part, right? I mean, we can't say whatever. Well, we can, but you know what I'm trying to say. But not very many people are doing that. There's very few people that are doing that, and the ones that are, if you're not an uber celebrity, a big person up there, you're not really being heard, right? So you're just kind of, the majority of people are just being fed through whatever this form of media is, if it's TV, internet, Wi-Fi, neighbor, whatever. And we don't know if it's true.
Yeah.
right? We don't.
Right.
We just put in truth. I guess your truth also lies in your trust,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
But that's also a false narrative, right? You know, because just because you trust somebody doesn't mean that they're being truthful, and I think a lot of people lose that as well. You know, we've talked about it kind of with social media and stuff before. People put more trust and belief in someone that they've never met online than anywhere else, and that's what an influencer is. They can sell you something, right? They might not even use that. They don't believe in it, but you believe it because you believe in this person who's lying to you. You know, and I don't know. But that goes back to what I'm saying. Like, I don't think that people want the truth. I don't think people want, like, even now, like, we talked about working out before in the previous episode, right? But I'm working out. I'm on a weight loss journey. I'm trying to get in better shape, right? I can't go start an Instagram of me and my body transformation because I'm not on every juice on the planet, right? I'm not ripped and shredded out of my mind with traps up to my ears, which obviously is not natural, right? Nobody, I mean, maybe somebody wants to watch me do it, but the majority of people don't want to watch me do it because I'm not putting up, because it's not attractive. No one wants to see that it takes,
Okay. They don't want to know the truth. Of
they don't want to know the truth. They want to see that end result. Yeah. Because you think about the people, think about fitness people that you see.
30-day challenge, and I went from this to that.
The people that are selling it, the people that are selling that to you, they don't look like them 30-day challenge people.
Yeah.
You're just taking someone that's already jacked, already or female, already big in shape, whatever. These people and some of them get there naturally, but you can tell the ones that are definitely
had
not.
A little boost, right?
Oh yeah, a little extra something. They drank all their milk that morning, right? But those are the ones that are selling this product, and it doesn't matter what you do, you're still not gonna look like that,
right?
But they buy into that. Yeah. They want to be. They're being lied to. They want to be lied. No one wants to watch this guy. Okay, well, here he is in week 1. All right, week 2, he still looks kind of the same. Week 3, I mean, he may be able to lift more, but he still looks the same.
Right. Still no big
all right,
change.
week 4, is this week 4 or week 3 still? Let me check. You know what I'm saying? So, nobody wants to, because it's not, it's instantaneous, right?
Right.
You want to snap your fingers, get it huge.
We've
muscles,
become a microwave
whatever.
Society, right?
Oh,
and so we become, well, we have to have it immediately, and we won't tell the truth of how we had to do it to get it, right? Because we want people to believe that we're honest.
Exactly.
But we want people to believe that we did it the right way.
That is the thing, it's always what you see, and it's funny, and I always say, even here in Texas, here in Houston, like, you go around and you look, and I've always said this, and I still want to know, somewhere there's an investigative journalist that's working on this, but I want to know how many real front companies there are in Houston, right? Because you drive around, and if you drive around, you look. I know and everybody that lives here has known. You've driven by several places that have a lot of square foot, and you're a realtor.
Yep.
A lot of square footage.
Yep.
Don't never have but 2 cars out there.
2 cars.
But somehow they continue to stay. They're paying the rent.
Yeah.
Right. And it's not off of foot massages, right? It's not off of how many snow cones.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying though?
Yeah.
And that's the thing that I always wonder. But that's that perception, right? It's a lie. But here we are, and we're looking at these people as being uber successful people, or they own this and they own that and they do whatever. Like, you look in the news, like even now when they just had the big bust for V Live, the strip club, right? V Live has been shouted out in rap songs and has been popular, whatever, and now they're getting busted for human trafficking.
Right.
And all of it, right? Are you really keeping that big business popping off of strippers?
Right.
Right. So there's just all those types of things that are happening, but it's that perception, it's that lie, it's that whatever. You see the guys, oh, I own this business and this supercar and this, that, that was here, and then now you're busted because you're messing with the PPP loans and all the others. Lies, man.
And the cars were weekend leases anyway.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Yeah.
We're just lies on top of lies on top of lies on top of lies on top of, and what for?
You know what? I think we've created a society, even within ourselves, because I'm listening to you talk, and I'm trying to go through my own house, right? I'm looking through I'm sweeping around my own front door,
right,
in this conversation, right? And I'm looking at, these vision boards we created, right? Me and the wife and son, we go through and we create these vision boards year after year, right? And
right.
And we pull into the vision board these dreams and these goals. And, there's a dream of the house. It looks like this, and this looks like that. And we're pulling together, like some of the stuff you were saying is that people have created these narratives and these ideas and then present them to us as truth. And that's how they did them. And then we take them and we aspire to them, right?
Yeah.
And so now we're aspiring to what they created over here, which wasn't truth from the beginning. Now we're aspiring to it and realizing, now why can't I get it? Why can't I achieve it? Why can't I reach the goal? It's because it wasn't truth from the beginning. At all, right? And so if I don't go back and reevaluate it and look at it and try to set up my own parameters on how to accomplish it, yeah, maybe it can just be a broad vision. And instead of using their recipe to how they did it, create my own recipe.
Right.
I enjoy cooking, and I really don't cook by recipe, right? I at this point, I know what I like and I know what tastes good to me. So if I see, if I see something in there that I'm, and I'm gonna eliminate that and I'm gonna just make it, Right. And I'm gonna create it for myself, and I'm not gonna tell you I use that recipe.
Right.
I'm gonna be like, you know what? I doctored it up. I changed this. I changed that, and let's move forward. But I see that because we've created some of these dynamics for our own selves out of things that weren't based on truth anyway.
That's true. And I guess the question is, do we also ignore the truth because we don't want to accept the reality in what a situation really is, right? And you talk about those vision boards, and you talk about all the things that are on there. So let's say that the house, this is the house that I want, right? I mean, a lot of people, when you hear the truth, the reality, you ain't never gonna have that house, ever. Let that dream go. Right. But they don't want to hear that, right? Because now, you're a hater, you're this, you're that.
You don't even have the discipline to save the money to get the down payment.
Exactly, right? But it's on your vision board, and so. But that's the thing is, I think a lot of people.
You can't say that.
You can't.
You can't be honest.
You can't be honest with them.
Okay.
Because God dang, if you do, you are a negative person. You're trying to steal my shine. No, I'm not trying to steal you had 10 jobs in the last 6 months. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to be real with you because I love you, man. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But they don't want to hear that. They want whatever, they want to buy into that lie. And I think at some point, some people are just too stupid to understand. You're out there, you know who you are. But at some point, if people really think about it, right? Maybe it takes away their will. I don't know. There's just some people, everybody has that friend who just can't get right. They always have a scheme. They always have a something. They always have, I'm about to blow. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that, whatever. Like, you've been doing this for 30 years.
Right.
Ray been doing this, for 30 years. You haven't done it. Maybe it's time to just accept this isn't for you.
Yeah.
Or you've been stuck in that one thing for so long because you believe it. Like, maybe that's not where you need to be.
Yeah.
Maybe you need to switch, but you can't tell them.
Right.
And that does hurt too, right? Or even if you have kids, you have a son or whatever, but like I see people with kids all the time and, what do you want to be? Oh, I'm going to be a basketball player. Boy, both of your parents are 5'3". you don't realize
everybody not spud well, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You can't dribble. You're not coordinated. You know what I'm saying? Let's be real. Your dreams of the NBA, especially now, are not there.
You remind me of my. I played baseball, football, when I was growing up. This is crazy. I played baseball and football, and I felt like I was pretty good at those, right? And so my dad one year was asking me, say, "Hey, you want to play basketball?" I was like, "Okay," and it's in my kind of middle school age years, right? I was playing baseball from probably about 6 or 7, football same age, and then basketball was later because I wasn't really that into it, right? But okay, let me try it. Go out on the basketball court, and I'm not good at all. I just get in because you have to have a certain number of minutes that you have to play the game, right?
Right.
And it's my turn. I get in, boom, they shoot me the ball, boom, I got it. I'm dribbling. Like everything's working out right. And I'm looking and I'm like, yes, got it. First time getting it. Boom, first year ever. Boom, shoot. And the wrong freaking goal. You laughing kind of hard, dude. In the wrong goal.
Hey.
Only 2 points I ever made in organized basketball. But at that point, I knew, you know what? And my dad was like, no, you know what? No,
not for you.
It's not for me. And I was okay with that,
Hey.
But sometimes we're not honest enough with ourselves.
With our
and then the people that
ourselves.
say they love us aren't honest enough with us either to tell us, you know what? You can't do that. Focus on this because I can see where some growth is over here.
But that's where you need the truth. I was in the same position. I mean, growing up, man, even in high school, I was a pretty damn good athlete. I was fast. I was in track. I was in basketball. I played football. I mean, I did well. I did well, and you let someone pump you up, right? Oh, you this, you that, you the other. And I remember I went to a college football practice tryout. We had college. Also, interesting side note, same community college or whatever, starter college that Aaron Rodgers went to. But I went there and I went to practice, and I went in there hot shit because here I am coming off of 12th grade.
Yeah. I'm
fast. I was about 190 pounds, just shredded.
Right.
You can't touch me. And I'm short. I'm like 6 foot even, maybe, if that. 5'11" if my bones is compacted. But you're 6 foot, 190, shredded, running like a 4.2 40 at the time, fast. When I say when you get out there with someone that's 6'4", 320 and runs a 4.2 40 and you collide. Boom. You are instantly, it looked like they say the old school TVs when you shut them off real fast, it's that little that little line. I said nope.
You had a blackout?
Right, blackout. Done. I said this is not for me. This is not my avenue. Thank you for letting me come out. And then if someone would have been truthful, right? If someone would have been truthful and said, hey, I'm crying, I'm laughing so hard. But if someone would have been like, hey, you're a little too small. Yeah. You're a little out your league. Right. You could have saved me from the brain damage that I still have. Today.
Some rattling up
right? It's still rattling. I still can't see straight. Right? That's probably why I got astigmatism. They knocked my eye crooked. I don't know. But that's the thing. A little bit of truth can save you a lot.
It go a long way, man.
A long way. A long way.
Oh man.
But I think that's what people miss, right? When you get to the point where, everybody gets participation ribbons and everybody gets whatever. Just be truthful. You didn't make it.
Yeah, right.
You didn't make it. When you go back, when you turn 40 and you go back to visit mom and you go in your room and you look on your wall at all these achievements and realize they're all participation. It changes your outlook on life, right? Right. I'm no longer this person that was great or this person that had, all these accolades and whatever. And I think that does make truth really does make a big difference, but I think that people don't want to hear it. So how do you accept the truth? How do you open yourself up to the truth, or even prep yourself to understand that, you know what, maybe I'm gonna hear some hard facts, but this is good for me? And how do you put that into society? Because one person can't go around and just decide, you know what, from today on, I'm telling everybody the truth. Because you're gonna wind up with no job, no friends, right? Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But even though it's what everybody probably needs to hear,
right,
it's not gonna work out for you.
Yeah, it's not gonna work out too well.
We live in a world of lies. It's not gonna work out for you. But how do we start moving that needle?
I think you still have to have wisdom in your approach, right?
Right.
And consciously stop telling them lies, right? But then you have to temper the truth with wisdom, and I believe with a bit of grace, right? Because everybody's not going to. My personality is not the best personality for everybody, right?
Right.
And so if I have a relationship with you, right, if we're in some type of, friendship or covenant relationship or whatever it is, and we're having a conversation, then I know something about you. I know your trigger points, right? And I've identified what those things are. And so if I come at you straight, bold, to the slapping you on the forehead with it, and I know that's going to trigger this shutdown on your behalf, then I wasn't wise, or I didn't care enough to actually have you change.
Right.
Because I didn't present it in a way that would offer change to you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so we have to take the responsibility. If we want to be honest, if we want to be truthful, I'm not saying you have to coddle anybody, but you do have to be mindful of them receiving what you say is true.
Right. But I think what you said at the very beginning is also a key component to that, because what you said is your personality isn't for everybody. And I think that is very important when we react in our day-to-day. So you talk about the tool shed. People can also be tools. I don't mean that to use people and throw them away when you need new, but meaning that is your personality isn't for everybody. My personality isn't for everybody. But you might be dealing with somebody that my personality works good for, and yours works good for mine, right? And so people need to be cognizant that when it comes to the truth, you don't have to be the one swinging the truth sword.
That's good.
You can find somebody that can help break down that barrier, and I think that a lot of people don't really take that into consideration.
It's that village, man. You know what I'm saying? And if we take advantage of the village, if we take advantage of my grandfather being able to go to the shed and finding the tool he needed, there was this one place available where I can go in and I can find it, and I put it right here, right? And I can go back and I can pick it up and I can use it and I can put it back right there,
right? And
like you said, somebody else may be better at it than this. So I need to be honest and say, you know what? I'm not the lead man on this, right? I don't have the right tool, but you may, and your situation may be perfect for it. So let me be open and available, and then present you to the person as an authority, as a value add to the situation, and then allow you all to develop whatever that needs to develop. I think that's well said. I think that's excellent.
I like it, man, and I think let's leave it there.
Okay.
Let's leave it there with some good thoughts, some good conversation.
Yeah.
Everybody
some great
laughs. Everybody be just sprinkle a little truth in there sometimes.
Just start today.
Just start
with a little sprinkle of truth, and maybe we can be
and see we can grow a whole truth field, right?
There we go.
Exactly. I love it, man. I love it.